Hello, it's River. Continue on. I felt the video Brielle had made a couple videos ago. She made the last two, I believe. Um, there's a pretty intense trigger at work, and sorry, I'm snapping my fingers. And Brielle was a trooper and fronted for us. This lighting. And fronted for us and got us through it. Well, I don't want to say kind of and disrespected, but got us through the morning. She tried her best to actively think of things that we could implement in a safety plan to not become suicidal. She reached out to our peer support worker. She reached out to our nurse. She made an appointment for school counseling. Crossed every T and dotted every I she could. And went to the crisis center, which is in the city I'm from. It's kind of like a walk-in mental health clinic. There's social workers on site that you can speak to, almost kind of like in the sense that you would go to a walk-in clinic if you didn't have an assigned doctor, or in this case, psychiatrist or therapist that you can speak to regularly, or in case of crisis and they weren't available, because it is open 24/7. And you could speak about it. Doesn't I come here sometimes, not necessarily when I'm in crisis or just when I need someone to talk to, and I feel like there's no one in my life I can turn to. Last night though, we were in crisis, so like I said, Brielle really tried her best, and we're here to the nighttime, so what she did got us here. But what I want to speak to is a really rough experience Buzz had, actually. I think I was co-fronting. Sorry. This is what I mean when I'm having a hard time figuring out if we have OSD D, or if, and I'm just remembering the others in the body, if I'm just remembering when they were fronting, or if I was co-conscious with Buzz, or maybe it's both or neither. But Buzz drove us there, took his Squishmallow. We actually packed it when we came here because for the first time in a while we could feel Buzz with us. And so we wanted to do something for him to feel like he would be safe wherever he went. So grab his Squishmallow, grab some Lego he can build while we were here, and went to school for the personal counseling appointment. It would have been the last thing we did that day as therapy. But holy, was sorry, the anxiety's building again. I'm not quite sure who's gonna end this video, how this video is gonna end, but this isn't something I'm referring to in the past. This is actually happening. So please be considerate, I suppose. I'm getting distracted. Back to Buzz. So yeah, while in the waiting room, I think it was a little of both of us, maybe mostly me, but he started getting more and more anxious. I don't remember what the thoughts we were having or what triggered him to come out fully, but eventually he did come out, and I remember him feeling unsafe and wanting to hide. And I think I was maybe watching this, or as the ring system spoke about it in their video, talking about, I think it was like levels of fronting. They called it like observing, where it's like fronting, co-conscious, and observing, and from the inner world. And I know we talked about how when we're not fronting, our external experience is lost to us when we do start fronting. So we're not sure what happens when we're inside, but I know there's times where I don't feel someone's energy, but sometimes they can talk to me through thoughts. At least that's what I think it is. So I think I was talking to Buzz, watching it, not co-conscious, because it felt like I couldn't control the body, but I was watching it, and I started thinking things to him like, don't do this, like, act normal. I'm admittedly very apologetic for the thoughts I was having. Um, but I was having those thoughts because I could feel him feeling more and more safe and wanting to hide. And there was a couch, and he wanted to hide under the couch. But although he is a child, he realizes his body is not. So he um, went. The chair we were in was an accommodating chair, so it was quite large, but still like a chair. Um, he pushed it forward, and it was in a corner. Pushed it forward and hid behind it, and I thought it was just his childlike mind saying, "I can't see no one, so therefore no one can see me." But no one really saw us, and it wasn't until someone was filling up a water bottle. A social worker. It wasn't until a social worker was filling up her water bottle that she discovered us, the body, and Buzz sitting there. At first, the experience was not welcoming. She put other students' priorities and mental health before Buzz's, in the sense that she told Buzz to come out from under the chair in a very gentle way, but nonetheless, because she didn't want him to scare other students who may walk in for counseling as well, which I suppose there is validity in that, because it would be jarring to see a grown man hiding, cowering behind a chair, especially if you're experiencing your own triggers. That I suppose bizarreness would be a bit jarring to see. I say jarring a lot. I feel like it's the best word I know for the experience I'm trying to describe. It would be quite shocking. Um, so yeah, eventually she said Buzz agreed to let her move the chair, but he wanted to stay in the corner. She agreed to that, and we spoke. She was quite warm. She spoke to Buzz like a child. I remember thinking, because little things like she left her water bottle in the room and she told Buzz to keep it safe, and Buzz quite felt honored for the responsibility. And he watched that thing like a hawk. And then again, when she left the room the next time, she left paper and her phone and said the exact same thing. She's like, "Keep this safe," in a way you would speak to a child. And again, Buzz was happy. Um, I'm gonna jump forward just to continue with this story, and then I'm gonna go backwards. But it wasn't until eventually she called. She called us a cab, and that they paid for, to send us back to the crisis center. Um, that and after she gave us her business card, she introduced herself to Buzz. Um, but it wasn't until, because Buzz said he didn't know who she was. It wasn't until she gave Buzz her business card and we read her name that we realized this is a social worker at the school that we regularly work with. She's a social worker that helps students who are inpatient at the hospital. I've had countless phone calls with this individual. I've met her during, it was COVID times, and just when I'm inpatient. She's not a personal counselor, at least she's not mine, so I don't see her. It's more like admin stuff that she helps me with, and like just supporting. She's nice, but I distinctly know her voice, and I have met her before. And I think if it was me, I would have recognized her. But at the time when it was Buzz, not a chance in hell. He's like, "I don't know you, lady." And then we saw the business card, we saw the name, and we're like, "Oh, we know who you are." Well, Buzz said that. Um, so yeah, back to the story. The experiences Buzz were having was quite triggering. It gave me firsthand experience to how DID develops in childhood. You know, you hear the whole child is too scared, frightened, or unable to deal with the trauma, so they envision someone stronger, they vision somewhere they're being somewhere else, they vision being someone else. Um, but Buzz was having thoughts of, this isn't happening to me, it's happening to Buzz Lightyear. I'm Buzz Lightyear. It's not me, it's Buzz Lightyear. I'm in a spaceship. Buzz Lightyear, Buzz Lightyear. And it was like a mantra he was saying. And I think it was something he probably would have said when he was comforting himself during the experience of trauma. Another thing that we discovered, I really hope my headmates are okay with how transparent I am. I really hope these videos help people, and I'm a very open person with my struggles. I have no shame because I understand I do have self-denial, but shame I don't think I have when it comes to my health and mental health. Back to the story though. Buzz also interpreted the trauma and the physical fear of what would happen to him and spoke to that, or at least had thoughts. He spoke about the abuser to the worker in a very childlike way. He I don't remember. There's one more thing I wanted to say. Okay. Oh, we felt fear. He felt fear of related to the trauma, such as being found, being discovered, um, going to sleep, such as that. Um, we cried a lot, and well, Buzz did. It was very emotionally exhausting now that we're out of it. It was very intense. It was a very hard experience that we lived through. And I want to thank Buzz for getting us through that. And you are tough. You are you're a good space ranger. Um, so I don't know if you have seen any of our other videos. If not, we do experience amnesia. It's more of a generalized amnesia where good, traumatic, neutral, many types of memories are lost from us up to current times. So we do experience amnesia. I don't know where I was going with that. Sorry, I generally don't know. I'm kind of. It's like I lost any ability to formulate what I want to say next, or continue on with the story because I don't remember where I left off. I remember we were speaking about amnesia, but I don't remember why I brought it up. Oh, it's been 13 minutes already. Oh, that's what I was going with this. We, or I should say I can't speak to my other headmates. I've never experienced a trauma trigger like that before. Usually if I had a trauma trigger, it would make me think of the trauma and I would be very detached from it, but I would typically react on making an attempt at my life. I never lived through the emotions that tied me back to being in that time. I've never felt those fears or had that. I suppose they're memories. A fear, this fear, is based on something is based on experience, and whether that experience is just within the body and not within the mind is something that had happened. So, in that sense, I'm going to refer to it as, I think I'm Carl. I think I can see Carl in the eyebrows and the voice. We never So I need to end this video, but I'm thinking we've never had a trauma memory so personal, I should say. Or not memory, trauma trigger, so that was so personal. So I described it, me, River. Okay, I'm River. I described it to my partner as it felt textured. It's never felt so like personal, textured, real, undeniable. So we're staying at a stabilization space. It's within and partnered with the crisis center that we spoke to going to. It's a short stay. It's like a mental health clinic. It's not like a mental health hospital, like a psych ward or anything. You're not. It's all voluntary. You can come and go. There's 24-hour staff. There are various social service type or peer support type staff, like lived experience peer support. So yeah, quite long. Second half was me dissociating and us not knowing who we are at times. So thank you for bearing with it. And one of us, I suppose, will make a video as we continue to get through this trauma processing trigger. And yeah, I think I'm too quite dissociated to finish this video. So thank you. Take care.